Gentlemen, and welcome once again to another 1180 video. In this video, I'm hoping to highlight my IS-2 gameplay here on Ruinberg from the North Spawn. The important things to note about the IS-2 are the fact that while it's got some decent armor at tier, it still can't take a lot of punishment from same or even lower tier tanks. And yet, with that pretty decent 122 millimeter gun, it can do very well to hold its own and to have impact on a game, even up tier. But in this case, it's a really good matchmaking for the IS-2. Top tier, going up against some pretty decent opponents in the Black Prince, IS, and Tiger P. Even that KV2 player is not too bad. So let me just pause the video here. My initial thought was that due to the fact that the ELC was over off to the left, kind of in that middle road along the F line, that he might get some early spots on the tanks that come around the the G2 corner, G3 corner. Generally speaking, at this tier, tanks like to try and come up that little alleyway along the 3 line. And so I wanted to take advantage of that ELC spotting capability, since he's kind of in that position, to get some initial shots on the tanks that do decide to do that. I'm joined by a T1 and a Jagdpanzer IV, a KV-1S, a 3001H, a KV-2, and I believe the SU-152. So there's some solid tanks in town. There's also the Tiger 1 back in the on the corner close to spawn, kind of protecting our backside. And the rest of the tanks are out in the field, along with our pretty... Our team really is comprised of some pretty low-skilled players. Maybe they don't have a lot of experience. So let's start it again and see what goes on. I see a shot fly, so I know something's poking around. You can see that the ELC is kind of thinking about coming back this way. And then he makes contact with the IS, and instead of kind of holding his own, he rushes out there to take a shot, and he pays the price against the IS. So let's pause it once again. Right before the pause, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to take a shot at this IS. But then just as I'm coming out around the corner, there's the Black Prince, an M4, and at least one other tank. I think there might be 2. So let's see what happens here. There's a Wolverine as well. The Wolverine pulls out. The Black Prince is coming too far forward. I'm just about reloaded. And to be honest with you, it wasn't really a wise move on the part of the Black Prince to pull out. He showed his very meager side armor to me, and I got some good shots. So I'm taking a look at the mini-map, and I noticed the M6 is coming around down along the flag. He's starting to cap. There's at least 1 tank on cap, probably more. So I'm kind of in a debate at this point in time. Am I going to continue to face off against these tanks on this corner, or am I going to go down to the corner with the 3001H? And I haven't decided yet. So here I am. I'm going to try and get around the KV-1S. I'm thinking, okay, I'm reloaded. Maybe I'll pull out and take another shot. But then I see, oh, no. There's a KV-2, the Wolverine, the M6. They're all down here, really kind of going after the 3001. So once again, you notice the KV-1S, and there's a little star next to the KV-1S symbol. This mod pack indicates that when there's a little star or an asterisk, that the tank is stock or doesn't have the top gun at the very least. But the KV-2, the M6, and the Wolverine are all upgraded well enough to really be tough to handle. And the 3001H, he is completely flank on to these guys, so I know he's not going to last long, and I want to lend a hand as quickly as possible. So I'm going to come out and try and shoot what I can. And I tracked the Wolverine. I shot a little too far back. I should have really been aiming towards his front side there for a good impact. So let's continue on. And here comes the KV-1S, and I'm like, okay, let's do what we can. I get a good flame shot on him, a good started a fire, an engine fire, but and I'm hoping to get the kill on that, but of course it's not to be as far as I know. And here comes the KV-1 and the M6. Everything is coming out to take a bite of me. There's the M6. I finish him off, but he was kind of silly to make that move in the first place. There's the IS. Now, my hope was that I would be reloaded in time to take care of the IS, but he's moving across pretty fast. I really don't want that IS to get away, because the only thing that's really standing in the way of that IS doing some good work is a T1 and a flat Panzer with the Su-152 behind. I'm not at all sure, because the IS is a pretty good player, that any of the three of those tanks are going to be able to handle the situation. So my hope is to get the IS when he's crossing, but I have an 11.79 reload. So no, I really couldn't, so I took the shot that I had available on the KV-1. The Wolverine is moving around. I have a shot on the KV-2, and he pays for it twice there. But just as I suspected, the IS is really handling his business over around that corner. There's the Tiger, but no. So right here, I know that the upper part, or any part of that KV-1's turret, really is not going to be able to handle a shot by me. So I'm taking my time to line up the shot on the KV-1. He only has 105 hit points left. Want to take another gun out of the equation as quickly as I can. That job's done. The Tiger 1 was trying to assist his IS buddy, who has 3 kills, and did in fact take care of the Su-152. But our own IS, Tiger 1, has good angle shots on the IS. So I'm a little concerned, if he gets lucky and is able to whittle down the IS, he could get into a decent enough position to help, to take care of the Tiger 1. We've got a KV-2 back here, though, and the IS, as well as the Tiger 1. And my KV-1S is in a decent protected position as well. We're all trying to manage our corners the best we can. And I'm going to go up and see if I can interrupt Cap. So yes, the IS does in fact take care of the of our own. And here he comes. But the Tiger 1 from further back finishes off the enemy IS, taking a pretty important gun out of the equation. Now, I know that the KV-2 and probably the Tiger 1 are up here. I know the Tiger 1's pretty much a one-shot. Both of them could essentially be, and I just want to poke and find out exactly where they are and allow my team to get into a better position if possible. Now, right here, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to tell you that, to be honest with you, it was a dumb move on my part to take the shot at this poor angle. Why? Because knowing going into the shot that the KV-2's side armor is pretty solid, I'm relatively certain that if I take a shot at his tracks, it's just going to track him at most. And I'm not sure whether Tiger 1 is. If he's right behind him, chances are I might get damaged. So let's see how it fares and whether or not I was right in my assumption that I'm not doing the right thing. So, pausing it, what did happen in the exchange here was that I did track the KV-2 for no damage, but his derp gun, his 150 millimeter gun, was able to track me and damage me. And then the Tiger 1 came around and took me down to 177 hit points. So it was a stupid exchange on my part, and I was really kind of lucky to get out of it with my life. So there's the Tiger. The proper thing that occurred there was that the KV-1S came around and took pressure off of me with the KV-2, and that allowed me to get the final blow on the Tiger 1. So if I stop it again, we'll note that the KV-2 has to deal with a low hit point 3001H. I'm thinking that either the Tiger 1 or the KV-2 might be able to handle that SU-100, but I'm a little concerned for the KV-2 with the SU-100 back there and the 3001H. That's a 2-on-1 that doesn't seem appropriate. I'm also looking at the score at this point in time saying, all right, that Tiger P hasn't been seen by any of us. He was last seen up in the north around the 0 line. He has 3 kills. Chances are he's going to come around behind us. I'm on low health. The KV-1S is on pretty low health over there in the corner. Our Tiger 1 is in decent shape, and he's done well for himself with 2 kills. So, I was a little up in the air. I haven't seen the T-49 yet, and I'm hoping that perhaps he'll just come out and do something stupid. So let's see what happens from here. Sure enough, the Tiger 1 actually takes care of the 3001H. KV-2 got shot. He's kind of low. That SU-100's getting into a good position to get a shot on him. There's a T-49. If I'm not mistaken, the T-49's whittling down the KV-2, and then the SU-100 finishes him. I take an ill-advised shot at the T-49, but the Tiger finishes him off, and then gets into a good position to finish off the SU-100 as well. And there you have it. So at this point in time, I'm saying to myself, all right, all we have left to worry about is that Tiger P. But will he be coming from this position over here? Most likely. He probably saw the hit points left on the KV-1S at some point in time. He definitely knows that his best bet is to come around and try and finish off the 1S first, and then deal with the Tiger 1 and myself. So my initial thought is I'm going to go ahead and cap and draw him out. But then I think, well, I better turn around and just anticipate him the way I think it's going to go. And just as I'm like, okay, it's probably going to happen, he shows up. And the KV-1S is kind of trying to make sure he gets into a good corner position when the Tiger P comes around. Tiger P overextends, takes his shot. KV-1S returns fire, and I know I just need to line it up. And there we have it. Final equation on this is that pretty overmatched KV-1S, an exceptional Tiger 1 player, and myself in the IS-2 handled the majority of the problems in this Tier 7 match. Once again, the importance of this is just to identify the fact that if you, for the most part, I made some dumb moves here. For the most part, if you protect this lower glacis of the IS-2 and you don't let them get too many shots on your side, you can fare really well, and you can hold your own and even have some strong impact. Now, there were a couple of shots that took me through my gun mantlet and my turret, and I did make a kind of a stupid decision back there in that exchange with the KV-1, or excuse me, the KV-2 with the Tiger backing him up. I should have kind of snuck into the corner there and just waited for the KV-1S to come around. But when I did take that shot on that poor exchange against the KV-2 and the Tiger, that allowed the KV-1S right here to come around over here and get a good full-on flank shot on the KV-2. And then our own KV-2 was over here distracting the Tiger 1, which allowed me to get a shot on the Tiger 1 as well. So big props, obviously, to the Tiger 1 driver, Fabio Novo. He did a fantastic job and might have picked up a Top Gun had he been in position for that Tiger P. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this 11AD video. We'll go ahead and take a look at the in the battle results screen to take note of how I obtained that 2,174 in damage, or actually, inflicted that much on the enemy team. But thanks for watching. And so noting very carefully on the team score that I was the high damage dealer, once again with the 2,174 damage and 4 kills. Picked up a base XP of 1,123. Pretty good for a Tier 7 heavy tank. In this battle, I fired 12 shots, 11 direct hits, and 10 penetrations. My armor blocked 265 hit points of damage. Spotted 5, damaged 8, and like I said, destroyed 4. Also tracked tank or 2 for 405 damage by the others. And I received 73,969 credits with a yield of 49,657 after resupply of ammunition and repair to the vehicle. So once again, with Without premium, it would have been a base XP of 1123. But with premium, I received 1684, and that was on a ×2, so a pretty decent ×2 of 3,368. Hopefully this highlights that if you maintain a decent position to try and protect your thin lower glacis and your side, that you can not only hold your own but have some strong impact on the game. As usual, I hope that you enjoyed this 1180 video. If you did, please feel free to hit that like button and subscribe for more 1180 videos. In the meantime, thanks a bunch for watching and happy tanking.